So, you're back to hear more about that girl who's having some car troubles on the interstate drive. I'm sure it's just a mechanical issue. No foul play at hand, right? What do I know though? I'm just the person telling the story. Holly had looked around to see if anybody was there. It didn't look like she was getting help tonight. Those logs were heavy. Very heavy. She struggled to pull them off the road. She got the first one over, but was immediately distracted by the sounds of something rustling in the bush. She couldn't see what it was, but her mind ran rampant with ideas. Could it be a person stalking her? Maybe a bear? She didn't know. After a couple minutes and not seeing anything, she finished pushing the last log and went back to her car. She sat in the seat, turned the key, and the repetitive revving of the engine did not turn over. It continued its grumbling hum, but there was no life left in this car. It had died. Fear struck her like a bat to a baseball. Her car wasn't starting. She was stranded and stuck on the side of the road. And just like that, she was left in the middle of nowhere with no cell service. She even checked her phone to make sure, but there was none. Not even a glimpse of hope remained in the backlit screen. She hopped back in the car and laid on the horn, hoping that somebody would hear her. But all she could think about was the fact that she would be lying if she said she didn't feel the slightest bit of unease. She didn't want to make it sound like a cliche horror story, but throughout her life, she was told not to take rides from strangers. But at that moment, when she was stranded in the dark, she had no choice. She was scared to think how long it would take for someone to come and pass by. She remembers it being 10:23 p.m. The car was off and its lights were dim, but she could hear the distant hum of a running engine. She looked down the road and could see approaching lights. She waved her hands outwards, hoping they would stop and help, but they honked their horn and drove by. They didn't stop, they didn't slow down. They just drove off into the darkness. She screamed at them for help. It was pure evil. She didn't understand how somebody could leave another human being stranded like that on the side of the road. 10:43 p.m. She was sitting by the car yet again. She stood up to the sound of another engine coming. The lights were completely gone, only a small glow left in them. She looked around, the pitch black gave no answers, but she saw those lights approaching again. She took a risk stepping out, trying to get the car's attention, being much more aggressive. A white, old, clunky pickup pulled over. She approached with caution, the glowing red lights of the tailgate making her feel uneasy.
You're the girl from the gas station.
She recognized this man. It was the man she asked about the Norwood monster.
What are you trying to do out here?
She told him her car broke down.
Where are you heading to? Alright, hop in. Hurry up. Just throw your stuff in the back. I can't wait here for too long. Hurry up, I need to get moving now. It's not safe to get out here.
That thought was terrifying. That she had been standing outside her car stranded here for so long, and this man is now telling her it wasn't safe to be here. She grabbed her stuff from the back of the car, made the hike back and forth, throwing it in the back. With the last couple items thrown in, she told him she was ready to go.
You need to hurry up. I don't have all day. Finally. Now hop in. Be quick.
She hopped in the truck. The smell was musty, slightly old. That smell of when you go to an old folks' home. It was old though. She checked her phone again, but still no service.
panic was setting in. So, you won't tell me who you are and where you're going? She told him that she was driving home, that the piece of crap just broke down. Jason. She was caught off guard. My name's Jason. She was pleased to meet somebody that saved her, although she couldn't get the constantly nagging thought out of the back of her head that she was about to be kidnapped. You're really lucky I had to be on this side of town tonight. I must say, you are one brave young woman. She wondered what he meant. You got any clue what happened to your car back there? Maybe a battery issue? Are you sure? Jason seemed suspicious of her answer, and she wondered why, but didn't ask. So, what do you think about what he told you back at the gas station? She thought about how much it creeped her out. Interesting. That idiot tells every person traveling down here. She asked him if it was true. What? The monster? Let's see. I've never seen the monster for myself, but there are some things, and I'm afraid your car breaking down could have been one of them. Hey, listen, I don't want to sound like that moron, but just remember this. You don't bother them, and you don't be bothered. She wondered what that meant. What did he mean by, if you don't bother them, you won't be bothered? She decided to just keep it to herself, though. You know what? I'm sorry for being a jerk to you before. I'm just not the best with people. She was really starting to panic on the inside. She didn't need to freak herself out more. It was 12:08 next time she checked the clock. Her and Jason had a bit of small talk between this and when she was picked up. He dropped her off by a motel. Apparently they offered roadside assistance. Besides, she thought she could use a little rest. Be careful. There are all kinds of people out there, he said ominously before leaving. She watched him drive away, waving as she did. Jason wasn't the Norwood monster she thought he was when they first met. She looked around at the motel. She could see that there was a water cooler and some snacks. She looked at the drink machine, but she didn't want anything. She just wanted to go to her room right now. She swung open the door and saw a man behind the desk.
Gal need a room to shack up for the night?
He was putting out the creepiest vibes imaginable. She told him she just needs a room for a little while.
$40 for a single. Pay cash only.
She paid him.
Room number 9, right over there.
She asked him more about the car.
$90. Tommy will take care of it the next thing in the morning.
She paid him the $90 for that.
Good. I'll let Tommy know. And one last thing. Try not to wake the other guests. They might not take very kindly to it.
She left the man at the desk with her room key. Everybody seemed so particular about not wanting to bother the others, not wanting to make any sort of problems with them. She wandered the motel looking for her room. Seeing one and then two, she crossed the parking. A barrage of texts came in. It seems like some of her messages didn't send, and everybody's asking how she is. Well, she at least had service here, and that was better than nothing. She opened her room door. It was nice and warm inside. She noticed there was no mattress, though. She looked around a bit more. Maybe she'd have to go back to the desk. The closet was good. She opened the bathroom door. Her heart was thumping like a pounding drum in her chest as she saw
Excuse me, what are you doing
You
here?
scared the crap out of me, she told him.
Well, I'm Tommy. Room service here at the roadway inn. The finest stop over in Norwood. Yeah, you know, cleaning stuff.
She told him that the guy at the front desk gave her the key to the room.
I'm gonna have to ask you to step outside while I make your room. Please wait outside. Go get your stuff, I said.
As her heart was returning to a normal pace, she walked out of the room. She made the trip across the parking lot to grab her stuff. She hoped it wouldn't take too long. Her mind was getting tired, and it was so filled with fear at this point, with her car breaking down, the incident with the man that stopped at her car. She thought about that and wondered if he in fact caused the problem to it. And she thought back of what Jason said, to just not bother them and not be bothered by them. She decided to buy a cola though. Her tired mind regretted the earlier choice of not doing it. She needed to just stay a little more awake and attentive while she was still outside her room. When she had her stuff inside, she'd lock the door and lay down to go to sleep. With the last of her items, she walked in and talked to the man who had helped her, Tommy.
Had a word with Joe about the situation. What is wrong with these people? Mercy, mercy, mercy. But do not worry, it is safe here. I will go get your car. And the room's found is not working. If you need anything, just be at the front desk. We've been meaning to get it fixed, but we haven't been seeing enough guests lately. But you have a good night there.
She laid down and tried to go to sleep. Wow, that went really well, don't you think? Her car breaking down, the guy picking her up, and now she's at an old motel that doesn't seem much better. But guess we'll just have to wait to see what happens. Thanks for stopping by to watch the Fears to Fathom Norwood Hitchhike, Episode 2 of the story series. If you're enjoying it, make sure you leave us a like and subscribe to the channel. Come join the Allegorian community of fun and stories. We also have more stories on the channel and fun gameplay, so check out those.